Hi, my name is Shalini, Sinanan, and welcome to another interactive session where we go through the paces, letting you know all about the rudiments of English language arts from the comfort of your home. Today we are looking at vocabulary in context. When we write, when we read, how do we know the meaning of words, and how can we figure out for ourselves what the meanings of words are without having a dictionary to thumb through every second of the way? So we are learning to use vocabulary in context, understanding the meaning of words, and by the end of this session, we should explain what are context clues, recognize the different types of context clues, define unfamiliar words using context, and develop inferential skills by solving unknown words using context clues. So, in other words, we're teaching you how to be a sleuth. So get your magnifying glasses ready and let's see how we can figure out the meaning of words. What are context clues? Context clues are hints found within a sentence, paragraph, or passage which help a reader to understand new or unfamiliar words. How do you know how to look for those hints? Let's go through. How do context clues help provide meaning? Context clues help to define a word based on the sentence in which the word is located. Writers leak information on the page, requiring detective work to discover word meanings. And this is where you come in and you try to be the best detective that you can by looking for those hints or words or signal words. Context clues are very helpful for learning new words and promote a better understanding of what is being read. Because you know, when you read, it's not just to know how to say the words, but you must understand what you are reading. And that's the basic part of what you get from reading, understanding. So let's look at the benefits of context clues. First of all, it increases your vocabulary. It helps you remain focused. It saves time in understanding a passage. Remember, I told you, you don't want to be thumbing through a dictionary every minute when you don't understand a word. You can just look for the signal word and understand the meaning of the word in the sentence. And it improves your ability to decipher words in context. So you become a better reader. You understand things in a better way when you understand how to read clearly and how to understand words in context. Let's go to the different types of context clues. Here's a mnemonic that you might like to learn. Ideas. I-D-E-A-S. In a previous lesson, I told you a mnemonic is a group of letters we put together to form a word so that we can better understand things and better learn facts knowing the mnemonic. It's easier for us to learn. So what does the I in ideas mean? The I stands for inference clues. The D stands for definition clues. The E stands for example clues, the A for antonym clues, and the S for synonym clues. So today we are going to look at 5 different types of context clues: inference clues, definition clues, example clues, antonym clues, and synonym clues. Don't get worried. As we go through each section, you will understand each type of clue, how they are used, and how you can define words using each type of clue. Do you have your magnifying glass ready? Let's look at the inference clue. With inference, sufficient clues are available in the sentence or sentences for the careful reader to conclude the meaning of the word. So this is where you come in, and you have to be a careful reader. The meaning is inferred from the general context or gist of the passage. So here's where your understanding comes in when you read, and you have to infer or make a good guess about what the word means based on the words in context in the sentence. Let's look at some examples. Due to severe lack of sleep and extreme nervousness, Billy's reply was incoherent. So here we are looking at the word incoherent and what it means. Do you know what the word incoherent means? Some of you may, some of you may not. But let's look at the sentence carefully. Due to severe lack of sleep and extreme nervousness, so two things are stated about Billy in this sentence. One, he did not sleep for very long. And two, he was extremely nervous. So, and it's due to these two things, his reply was incoherent. So if someone has lacked sleep and someone is nervous, they might not be able to answer in a precise manner as they would if they had complete sleep and if they were confident. So in this instance, if you had said that his reply did not make sense, then you are right. And the reason being a severe lack of sleep and nervousness would suggest this confusion. Let's look at another example. The sound of the guitar was amplified when it was connected to the speaker. What does the word amplified mean? Let's look at the sentence carefully. The sound of the guitar was amplified. So something is happening to the sound of the guitar. And that something happened when it was connected to a speaker. What happens when we connect something to a speaker? Yes, the sound increases. So amplified means increase in volume. And the reason being, when connected to the speaker, the guitar increases in volume. Let's try some inference clues. Harry found himself at the precipice, staring dizzily at the river below. Let's look at this sentence carefully. Harry is somewhere, he's at a precipice, and we want to know what the meaning of precipice is. We are not clear on what the meaning might be, but we have some clues that might help us. He is staring dizzily at the river below. So one, he's dizzy, and there's a river below, which suggests that he's on top somewhere. And if he's staring dizzily, it also suggests that he might be very high on top somewhere. So if you had answered that precipice might mean a cliff, then you're right. A precipice is a cliff. Harry is staring dizzily at the river below, shows he is high up on a cliff or a precipice. David was so famished that his mom gave him some hot soup at once. We may not know what the word famished means, but we could decipher the meaning based on the words in the sentence. So David is something, he's famished. What does that mean? And in the same breath, his mom gives him some hot soup. So she gives him something to eat, and she gave it to him at once. So why would you get food at once? Yes, because you're hungry, and famished means you're very hungry. So mom gave David some hot soup because he was so hungry or famished. Though he didn't talk with anyone, Shamid collaborated with others to complete the job. So here we have someone who doesn't talk much with people, but yet he collaborated with people to complete the job. So if he doesn't talk much with people, but yet he collaborated, it means that he worked together with them to get the job done. Shamid worked together with the other team members, or he collaborated to complete the job. So collaborated means work together. Isn't that easy? You too can look at sentences and figure out the meanings by inferring what is meant when you read it. Let's look at another example. Her affluent neighbors, not lacking in financial resources, had their own swimming pool in a massive house. What does the word affluent mean? In this sentence, we see that her neighbors are not lacking in financial resources, meaning that they have financial resources, and they own a swimming pool in a huge house, in a massive house. So people who have these things at their disposal, we can say that they are very rich. So if you decided that affluent meant wealthy or very rich, you're very correct. Her neighbors had a lot of finances, a pool and huge house. So they were wealthy or affluent. I hope you understand how to infer from this lesson. And when you read and you see clues that help you to infer what you're reading, it will make your reading that much better.